David, do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford.
You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me.
It's a fear that transcends the customary deference between rivals. The whole boxing world is buzzing about this icy air of invincibility. Today, we're going to disclose the startling explanations for why Terence Crawford truly frightens even the world's toughest fighters.
I want to ask you a little bit about the history that you made tonight, and I want your opinion on which means the most to you. You became a 5-division world champion. You became the 3rd or 4th division lineal champion with Mayweather and Pacquiao. You became a 3-time undisputed champion, the first ever in the 2, 3, or 4 belt era. And you became the 2nd undisputed champion in 3 weight classes when there was only 1 champion back in 1938 with Henry Armstrong. That's a lot of stuff.
You hear that? You hear that?
Which do you think means
all
the most?
And all of it. It all goes hand in hand.
Can you describe what it all means to you to have? You just made like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, you know, anybody can be a nobody, like I said, you know, and that's all they say I've been fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me, what can you say now?
You can say congratulations.
That's it. What can you say? Any words? I bet you did.
Across from Crawford, Canelo Alvarez was uneasy for reasons other than competence. Something much more disturbing was involved. As he observed their face-off, boxing star Roy Jones Jr. noticed something that others had overlooked.
I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I still taking risks because I love boxing. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
He remarked that Canelo appeared plainly uncomfortable, resembling a young child standing opposite an experienced veteran. Crawford met his stare and maintained it until Canelo was the first to look away. That was the first triumph, to use the unspoken language of the Warriors.
I'm gonna say it like this. Terence Crawford went and got it from the mud. You understand me? I tried to set examples when I was coming up of how to do things. Terence Crawford showed you how to go get it out the mud. You understand me? Terence been there all these years. Nobody would ever give Terence that shot to become that guy. You understand me? Finally, Earl gave it to him after 5 years and he became that guy. But most people who were capable of giving him that shot at that time avoided him and didn't give him that shot. Terence earns, and I always have had, my utmost respect because he gets it out the mud. People like Victor Postal were not weak, easy to beat guys. Victor Postal had not really lost till he got to Bud. Bud made him look like nothing. You understand me? Bud been beating these guys that we don't know are monsters, but the game knows they were pretty good fighters. Damn good fighters to be exact. He been going through anything they brought to him for a long time. He did not manipulate the game. He hit the game head on, waited patiently until his time came, and took full advantage of that night. That's how I understood boxing to go. Not people to go out and do things other ways. Go straight down that line, hit that ball straight off the middle. You understand me? That's what Bud did. The last person I seen do that, Marvin Hagler had almost 50 fights before they let him fight for a title. You understand me? 50 fights before he got a shot. You understand me? That's a long time. That's no manipulation. That's standing in the gap, doing what you got to do till your time comes. That's what Bud did. He stood in the gap till his time came, and when his time came, he took full advantage of it. And I got nothing but the utmost respect for people like that because they know how to go.
This is the Crawford Enigma's central mystery. His amazing capacity to digest information in milliseconds, read his opponent's every move, punish errors with surgical accuracy, and maintain complete composure.
A very smart fight, took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later rounds and just outboxed him for a very smart fight. Didn't stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Erislandy Lara blueprint and used it very well. Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Erislandy Lara, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight because he knew Erislandy Lara gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw. Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound.
Malagny likened his period of supremacy to Floyd Mayweather's, implying that his win over Canelo marked not merely another victory, but the formal start of a new age in which Bud Crawford is the only one who truly defines this generation. However, what really distinguishes him is not simply his victories, but also the way he does it.
Virgil Ortiz said to us, Bud beats Canelo, I have him as the greatest fighter of all time. Would you put yourself in that category once that fight is over and you're the winner?
Of course. Why not?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm talking about all time.
All
like
time.
Ali, Floyd, I'm talking about all time.
When you talk about all these other fighters who would have done or accomplished anything close to it.
I agree.
I'm asking you.
No, none of
Sugar Ray Robinson accomplished a lot.
When you say Sugar Ray Robinson, he never went up 3 weight classes and fought the undisputed
the
champion.
Right, right.
And the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best Mexican fighters that come out of Mexico.
Of all time, yeah.
It's a difference when you talk about moving up in weight and who you fighting. You can kind of say that I went up 3 weight classes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the joy in it.
54, 60,
everybody,
68.
Everybody, you know, is wondering how I'm gonna do at 60.
He abandons the men on the other side of him, feeling completely powerless. Crawford's supremacy goes beyond winning, though. Rewriting the record books in ways no one could have imagined is the goal. Imagine accomplishing the incredible achievement of becoming undefeated 3 times in 3 different weight classes, rather of just once. According to former world champion Paulie Malignaggi, the run is truly historic. Not only was Crawford's perfect 41-0 record with 31 knockouts astounding to him, but so was the manner in which he accomplished it. Crawford didn't use easy battles to boost his record. He rarely took a clean shot himself, but he methodically destroyed the leading figures in each division.
Crawford's very, he has a big ego, especially when it comes to anything he does, bro. He has a big ego. And I said this yesterday. I won't be surprised if he dominates Canelo and then they offer him Benavidez and he says okay.
His strategic career decisions reflect this unwavering drive. Becoming an uncontested champion is the ultimate goal for the majority of competitors. At 154 pounds, however, Crawford passed up a chance since he didn't see any memorable battles.
If Canelo is saying there wasn't shit I can do in there, Errol Spence had to have been in there like, holy shit. It brings light to his resume. Everybody done it. We kind of knew that Bob Arum had Manny Pacquiao avoid Terence Crawford. PBC, welterweights, all avoided him. I am here to give credit to Terence Crawford for being one of the most ducked fighters in history. Like Bob Foster, like Black Murderers Row, Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and all those guys. Terence Crawford by himself is Black Murderers Row this era. Now, do I need Terence Bud Crawford to continue fighting? Hell no. For what? Terence Crawford, we know what you are. I am the first one to say, didn't believe it. But brother, if you're watching Terence Crawford, you by yourself has cost me at least $30,000. That's enough for me to be convinced. I would never bet against this man ever again. I can't afford it. I have a house, I got kids, a business to run. I can't afford it.
Would you consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron as the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
Nope. I ain't going down 154.
Most fighters have to make a decision. They are rarely both defensive geniuses and offensive juggernauts. Crawford is an actual boxing anomaly and the exception. His performance against Canelo left commentators speechless, as they said they had never witnessed such a flawless balancing act between attack and defense. He demonstrated a remarkable ability to deflect strong blows with his arms and gloves, neutralizing his opponent's finest weapons with deft, quick movement. However, his offense would immediately return fire after his defense absorbed a shot, punishing every small gap with blazing counterattack. He does more than just stay safe. He takes advantage of an opponent's violence to them, methodically dismantling them while maintaining composure and total authority. This degree of mental toughness isn't a coincidence. It's a deeply rooted characteristic that other skilled combatants can spot right away. A fighter like Crawford requires more than just technique to be effectively stopped. Andre Ward, the former pound-for-pound king, claims that because his mind is so stubborn, you must cause real, serious bodily harm. Crawford reminds Ward of himself, and Ward claims that their mentalities are so similar that they'll. As soon as they are in the same room, they begin to argue about anything, from basketball to wrestling. He clarified, "You got to really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do."
Somebody that, like, I could bet the house on, but
who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this, it's different, man.
Most people don't know shit about boxing, but Terence Bud Crawford does. Great fight, shutout. Just what I assumed would happen. This boxing smart would beat Canelo's tactics. Like from round 2, I saw Canelo being on the back foot, and eventually Crawford was just dancing around him, doing his thing. So yeah, again, I like Crawford. I just think the way he fights is clean. Like he makes very little mistakes, and he knows the sweet science of boxing. So he showed why he's the best right now. One of the best in history.
He is a mystery that no one has been able to fully solve because of his unwavering will, versatility, and fluid stance change. However, his relentless ascension was fueled by a personal fire that existed before the belts and the fame. His father had told his mother from an early age that their son was destined to be a world champion. But his mother didn't believe it.
Yeah. They don't watch their daddy's hands.
They bad. But you know, he chilled too, though. You can tell when your resume say a certain thing, man, you ain't gotta talk a certain way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let them know though, before you cross that line. You warn them.
You think are you as hard as your mom was on you or no?
On my kids?
No. You ain't like your mom was?
No. By far.
By far.
Yeah.
She was hell.
What? She was tough. Then I was getting whooped for nothing.
You did something.
But at the same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his value more. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean that I don't see him saying that, okay, well, we can't afford to fight this guy. Okay. So I mean that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud won't entertain.
She famously offered neighborhood children $10 each if they could whoop Bud on the street directly outside their home, demonstrating her extreme skepticism. That uncertainty served as his greatest source of inspiration rather than a deterrent. Crawford said that her incredulity made him angry, which he took into the ring for each and every round. Every triumph was more than just a title. He needed to convince her of that, using family doubt as the impetus for his aspirations.
Your goal was to go up and become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
There you go.
Wow.
Something that never been done before.
Right.
And it's greatness. Like I said, this is my era, and I'm taking it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. I know I wanted to fight Jamel, but if he lose to Canelo, I always said, man, that's a big step. For a person to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 and to win and become undisputed, wow. What can they say? They can't say nothing right now, but what can they say?
His strategic career decisions reflect this unwavering drive. Becoming an uncontested champion is the ultimate goal for the majority of competitors. At 154 pounds, however, Crawford passed up a chance since he didn't see any memorable battles.
I'm just reflecting on all my accomplishments at my mama house. That's where all my belts at. You know, hard work, dedication. Things that y'all favorite fighters, some of them, ain't got. So I see why y'all mad. See why y'all mad. We look at that one right there. This where it all started at. Right here. This one. In Texas. In Texas, baby. Don't hate. Just congratulate.
Because fighters like Fondora had already lost and others had been knocked out, he reasoned that defeating the local champs wouldn't improve his reputation. He believed that if beating the person who holds a belt doesn't demonstrate your superiority, there was no use in chasing one. He demonstrated his desire to leave a lasting legacy rather than only win titles by taking the audacious decision to pursue greater challenges at 168 pounds. And that legacy sends a clear message to those who despise him. Crawford stood amid a sea of belts of champions in a silent moment at his mother's house, the starting point of his trip. It was a stunning demonstration of what he has acquired over years of hardship and hard labor. He considered the skeptics and detractors who attempted to downplay his accomplishments while he gazed at the gold. Calmly, confidently, he stated,
You've been training Crawford for years. Is he retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
Oh, he's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man. Be man. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what Crawford would be if he beats Canelo. When you look at his resume, well, his resume ain't really that great, so it's one victory. He'll beat Black Murderers Row. No one questions if Charlie Burley and Eddie Booker and Kid Chocolate, no one questions if those guys on Black Murderers Row were the best ones doing it. They just didn't get the opportunity, so they all fought each other. But nobody questions. Crawford was avoided. If he beats Canelo, his resume will be because of avoidance. He's Black Murderers Row.
It was a potent and censored moment that showed a man who had not only hushed his detractors, but was now taking in the scenery. He is the most sought-after man in boxing because of his unshakable self-belief.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
168.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo. Yeah.
Oh, Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, you know, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia. It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
However, it has also caused some of the biggest names in the sport to deliberately avoid him. There is a strong Crawford impact, while some combatants criticize him in order to get money.
So you cannot sit there and tell me that there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division. Besides Terence Crawford, where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to match.
People are avoiding him at all costs. The dreaded knockout artist David Benz has demonstrated a conspicuous lack of desire to accept the challenge.
And then on Thursday and Friday, when I saw Canelo in the vest, I was like, nah. No, he's gonna pull it off here. And you know, it was an amazing performance by Terence Crawford. Yeah, I'm gutted for Canelo, but I'm actually pleased that Crawford is getting the opportunity to show how great he is, because his resume hasn't really allowed that. Don't get me wrong, he's got some good wins, but he could have beaten so many more of the elite guys from his era, and now that was a big win for him. I mean, he's 38 years old, and that to do that at that stage was very, very impressive.
Canelo Alvarez's hesitation to activate a rematch clause is even more telling. According to promoter Eddie Hearn, Canelo's team understood Crawford was a stylistic nightmare and had no interest in a fight with him years ago.
Would you ever entertain a fight with David Benavidez?
You gotta understand.
I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know?
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. His brother was big when I fought him. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. He might be thick, but he's not a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude.
And he's skilled.
I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Yeah, I understand what you're looking at. You're like, you know what?
You just size him up.
Yeah.
You just size him up, especially when you're going into a bigger weight class like that. You size him up and you see your advantages.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Fighters like Conor Benn stated that he should just retire following his most recent victory because of the great respect he commands. It wasn't an attack. It was the highest praise, a recognition that he had nothing more to prove. A rising star himself, Virgil Ortiz Jr., praised Crawford's performance as stunning and claimed that he had defeated the game's last boss. He has dispelled every skepticism, demonstrated his value in the most illustrious circumstances, and established a new, nearly unachievable benchmark. However, despite his legendary domination, the rumors of unstoppable are tempered by the brutal realities of boxing. As mythology develops, a fundamental question remains. Is Terence Crawford invincible? Despite his overwhelming victory over Canelo, several observers think that he is not unbeatable. For balance, they note that although he has an impressive record, several of his biggest welterweight victories were against fighters who are undoubtedly nearing the end of their careers, like Sean Porter, Amir Khan, and Kell Brook. It serves as a reminder that boxing is erratic and that the argument over his historical significance will probably never end. Ultimately, Terence Crawford's terror stems from a special blend of incredible skill, impenetrable mental toughness, and an unfathomable strategic ambition. His reputation as one of boxing's most powerful and feared forces is now ingrained in history, regardless of whether he decides to retire on top or keeps fighting. Terence Crawford is more than simply a boxing champion. Long before the first bell rings, he is winning the psychological battle, instilling fear and uncertainty in all of his opponents, past, present, and possibly even future. That concludes today's video. Please remember to hit the bell button, subscribe, and give a like if you liked it so you don't miss any of our next videos. Additionally, remember to leave a comment with your ideas. We'll see you in the future video, so stay tuned.